4th of July. Yee-hoo! From Lake Champlain. Do a tour of my boat, show you everything I've been working on all summer. Hopefully some of these ideas help other people with their boat crafting dreams. Let's start at the front. So at the front here, I added a boat anchor winch. I had like just a regular winch from Harbor Freight at first, but that was kind of ridiculous. I had a metal cable, wasn't coated. It was going to be a pile of rust. So I went ahead and bought one of these. And I got that hooked up to my battery here. This is like a 100 amp hour battery. I'll put links in the description, all this stuff. On top of those cables, you can see those little alligator clips. Those hook up to my trolling motor, which has been torn apart. Essentially, I just rewired it, took it off the pole, added some length to the wires, and I put a little handle. I 3D printed a handle instead of having that big long tiller stick. And then so yeah, that goes there, and then as it turns out, 12 volt 30 amps. I was having trouble finding a 30 amp connector, so I just bought a ridiculously expensive 125 volt 30 amp connector, and then I ran those cables down. Those go under, insert it here, and hook up to the actual drawing motor. So yeah, back to the front here. I built myself a steering wheel, and this is the remote control for the anchor winch. It just comes with some adhesive, so I just taped it right onto the, stuck it right on the center of the wheel there, which is pretty nice. Handy. So I got my throttle control there, the steering wheel here, and this is like a proper outboard motor steering system. I tried doing the cable system that a lot of people do with the kayaks, but that was not working. Partially because my boat, it's an inflatable pontoon boat. It's got this aluminum decking in 4 separate panels. And so each of these panels kind of flex a little bit. So it was really hard to get like any kind of regular tension on the cable steering system. So I eventually had to give up on that. This is like a Jackery solar panel, and that's just wired right up to this Jackery battery pack right here. And right now it's just charging. I want it to get to 10% before I turn on my refrigerator. This is like a Walmart refrigerator. And it's got 12 volt on the back there. And so that pulls about 40 watts, and I'm getting about 33. So yeah, I got a little work to do just hanging out in the sun, collecting some rays before I get my drinks cold. I got a little Monster Energy drink ready to go. So yeah, building this wire loom is kind of ridiculous. A lot of these things could have been done much better, but every good product has a version 1. But this steering system, normally with an outboard motor, there's like a tube right down here. It's called a tilt tube, I guess. And it's where it's like at the base of the outboard motor that connects to the transom. So that's all solid. And then the tiller handle has like a little, it's real close to that tilt tube, so that you can just use this rod to push and pull the tiller handle from the tilt tube where it's securely fastened. With a trolling motor, none of that's available. So I did my best to try and design a system. Like, part of the reason I have this boat is because I don't have a truck, so I gotta be able to pack this thing into a the back of an SUV. For most of the summer, my friend's got a little spot on the beach here where I can keep my boat parked. But every year I gotta put it away because I got an apartment. I don't got a garage I can store a boat in, or a yard I can put a boat and a trailer on. So I gotta pack this thing up every year. But this all packs down into a pretty small 4-foot by 2-foot stack, and it sits on some casters in my little storage unit. So it's condenses down really small. So yeah, the boat packs down. The steering system I built, I wanted to make sure that it didn't get in the way of my oars, so I could still paddle if I had to. But it works great. If I turn that, you can see that it kind of pushes and pulls. And I had to build this piece right here today. And gosh, I have thought about this way too much. But in the end, I just needed something that was moderately flexible. This is just like an eyelet that screws into this guy, which is screwed into the actual post on the trolling motor. But yeah, this has to be able to kind of twist because I'm going from an angle here, and that's in part so that I can potentially like get this out of the way. So it has to be able to be a little bit flexible, but it has to be sturdy enough to actually turn when I tell it to turn. So if I turn the steering wheel this way, you can kind of see how that works. And it works pretty good. The ratio is about right, as far as, like, you know, not being too sensitive, not being too difficult to push and pull. But yeah, let's pull anchor and get underway here. So I'm just gonna raise the anchor. And it's pulling me up right here. Ooh, looks like I caught something. There we go, nice and clean. Lock that, and then all we really got to do, make that, yeah, that's down. So let's put it into full throttle here. And now we cruising. Feels about 2 knots upwind, 3 knots with the wind. Really pretty chill boat. It's a fishing boat for sure, but I don't really like fishing, but I do like being out on the water. But I do love being out on the water, especially on the 4th. Alright, let's turn her around here. Yeah, this is a blast, man. Thanks for checking out my boat. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Adios. Be safe.